Well, looky here. You are listening to someone who is bold, authentic, diverse, unpredictable. Baby, I am unapologetically Ramon, and you have entered my zone, the QB zone, baby. Hello, somebody.
Rock Legion.
Well, what's going on, everybody? We are definitely down to the QB zone today, and I'm here for a very different type of episode. I'm chilling, I'm excited. I didn't have to prepare for this episode. One thing I want to do, and you'll see me doing this periodically, is I'm going to do a friend and family takeover. I'm going to allow relatives and friends, loved ones to come on here and just wreck shop on my show. They are going to put me in the hot seat. They will ask me whatever they want to ask me, have whatever conversation, whatever topics, and I'm not going to know what the heck is going on ahead of time. So I'm excited. And so when I thought about who I wanted my first guest to be, I said to myself, okay, this person has been on most episodes, the most episodes, and her episodes always have the most feedback and the most views because we cuss the hell up whenever we have conversations. And what y'all miss on my podcast is no, probably not even half of what y'all get when it's just, no lights or camera or microphones. But listen, today we have my friend, my sister, Lauren Gomes. What's going on, lady?
Nothing much, nothing much. First and foremost, thank you for having me. And I do want to
Rock
say
Legion.
that I believe today is a celebration for you. Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated Founders Day today.
Well,
Yes,
thank you,
it
thank
is.
you.
So
I appreciate that.
congratulations.
Look at you, I appreciate that, absolutely.
Yeah, so I got love for my Kappas, but that's a whole different story. We ain't getting into that.
Hey, I love it, amen.
College was a very nice experience. You hear me?
Yes, hello, somebody.
So
And you
yes,
was up there in Alabama, so I know you had a good time.
I
Yeah.
did. I had
Yeah.
such a good time.
Oh, yeah.
So we can actually get into that a little later. So
Okay.
I'm drinking tonight. You drinking? What you drinking?
Absolutely, of course. I have my
Purchase your tracks
strawberry
today.
margarita, and I got me a little Slim Jim snack. I'm ready for you.
So I have a margarita too, right?
You're
But mine
lying.
is, I promise you.
I think the last 2-3 times we did this, we ended up having the same type of drink and didn't even talk about it before. Yeah, I'm telling
Yes,
you.
I'm telling you. So it's called, I saw it in Publix.
Uh-huh.
It's a mango chili margarita, the mix. And then since I had the tequila, I just added that. And when I tell you this thing got me a little,
I
got me
love
a little bit. But
I love it.
I'm functioning. We going to see. I got my list. I got my phone. We getting into this, okay?
Listen, I'm here for it. I ain't scared.
Yes. So I did want to do a mental health check-in. See how you're doing for the new year. How things are going. What has the last year taught you, and what you're bringing into the future for 2023, and what you're bringing or what you're leaving in the past. So, you want to go first, or I can get into that with you.
Purchase your tracks
You
today.
know, 2022 was rough. It was very rough, what you know. I went into the end of the year being in a very negative place, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And I wasn't at a place where I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to give up, blah, blah, blah. But it was at a place where it's
Rock
like,
Legion.
I don't have a roadmap. I'm lost. I don't know how I'm going to proceed further. So I was basically going about every day just kind of numb and blah, like, okay, I gotta go to work. Okay, let's go to work, come back home. Like, it wasn't nothing to my life, no purpose, no nothing. And as I ended the year, to surprise an uncle. And initially, I had a lot of anxiety because, I hadn't been going to my country for a while. And so when my grandfather died early last year, I was like, I have no purpose to go to the bar. Like, I'm definitely not going no time soon. But for a specific reason, I said, I want to go home. I want to surprise this uncle. Is one of my favorite uncle, or is my favorite uncle. Um, and I just thought it would be good to be around family. But I guess I didn't have the most expectations for it.
Yeah.
And I was completely fed. From the love from little cousins happy to see me to the ones that are my age and just enjoying each other's company and laughing and drinking and food. It was just amazing. Like, I was really fed. And then an aunt and a cousin came over that I did not expect to see. It was just amazing. I did not expect to be fed. I looked at that trip as I'm going home. I'm putting my feelings and thoughts to the side like I typically do. And I'm going home to make somebody else happy. But I did not expect to be fed. And so I go on this trip, and it was a lot of thinking and just some real deep conversation with myself and God. And so I have to say that there is a recalibration that's going on with me mentally in regards to how I'm looking at things, my outlook for the year, my dedication to myself. And there's 3 words that I came up with when I describe my expectation for this year, and it's grace, space, and pace. I want to give myself grace because I tend to carry guilt for things I don't deserve. I want to give myself the grace to know that even when you try to work hard and you try to fight through the things that may come your way, you're not going to always get it right. And you need to be okay with letting Ramon mess up sometimes. And also, I'll need to give myself space that I'm going to have to let go of some people, places, and things if I'm really going to want God to fill certain voids, or if I want certain healing to evolve and upgrade. And then I need to go at my pace. I can't compare my journey or story to someone else's and say, oh my God, they are able to do this in X amount of time, or they were able to do this, and I'm 38 years old, or going on 39, and I have to work my own pace. And so for me, I feel that I have a willingness to work a little harder with making my relationship with God a priority. I make priority my relationship with you and other friends and other family. I need to make, regardless of my feelings of resentment and anger, I need to make the repairing of that relationship more of a priority. And so I feel like when I do that, that other things will kind of fall into perspective. So
I love that.
Right now, I'm in a good space.
I love that. I love to see how you're, like, in a sense, glowing. Your aura, to me, it's shining brighter than what I normally speak to you about. So I do appreciate where you say that, right? So at the end of the year, the last week of the year, I always take the last week of the year off to regroup, refocus, and trying to get myself back together. I was actually sick.
Oh.
So I did go on a trip, but I got sick, and it was just terrible. And it was to the point where I was not able to eat. And I love to eat, I gotta so you know what I'm saying? So it was, for me, not being able to just enjoy the new year, drinking and being out and partying and stuff.
Right.
I was just in my own little space. And I think that's what God gave me, to slow down, refocus, regroup. And I actually took that time to re-acknowledge who I was and what I needed in my life to move forward and advance, not only in my career, but me spiritually, because, I've been on a spiritual journey.
Right.
And just being able to just have a moment of peace. So the word that I'm taking in for 2023 is reclamation, or reclaiming what is meant for me. So when you say grace, space and pace. I love that. I think I'm gonna take that too.
Go right ahead.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
It just, I felt like, I gave up on myself because
absolutely.
I
Me too.
kept myself just shunned away from everybody. I just didn't want to deal with anybody and just the drama of it. I didn't want anything to do with that. So I kept to myself. And I think that also put me in a place of peace. And,
Yeah,
that's a place that I need to be in, especially with everything that was happening.
right.
Um, Now with my finances, that's, a whole different situation. The economy, it's taking a toll on me.
Hmm.
So I said, you know what? I'm taking back control of everything that I'm doing so that I'm able to be successful in life, both physically, mentally, and spiritually. So I'm ready for
Absolutely.
2023. So hey,
Absolutely.
here 2030, they better be ready for me,
Yeah, you got it. You got
okay?
it.
Yes. So I just wanted to kind of take that moment, refocus, regroup, and then now that we got all of that out of the way, I was gonna cuss. I don't know if I
You,
could cuss. I could
of
still
course you
cuss.
can.
Okay, so now that shit is out the way, right?
Hello. Yeah, we got to check. We got to make sure each other good.
Yeah, I gotta make sure that you're good. So
No, I
I
appreciate
was doing some kind of like research on certain questions. Like I know a little bit about you, but then
it.
I
Oh
don't
Jesus, help me.
know. It ain't that
Right,
bad.
right. It's
It
true.
ain't that bad, I promise you. So, one of the things that you previously mentioned, and you have some books coming out, is it this year?
Yeah. First quarter.
So, first quarter this year.
Uh
So,
huh.
you want to
Help
give
me,
us a
Jesus.
little bit of a snippet of what we're looking forward to, what type of material, and stuff like that?
Absolutely. So with the last book, and I had taken a break between. Oh my God, it was years between book 4 and 5 for just a lot of the trauma and just things I was going through in life. Because I know like the first four I was coming like probably like once a year, and
Hmm.
so I know I wore y'all out with
Hey, look,
a lot of my pain and trauma, but it was lasting for
it was
years.
needed. It was
Like
needed.
it, and it was legitimately for years, right? And so
Hmm.
I was like, as I'm healing, I need to give these people something else. So I've had enough conversations and poems and pieces and about just pain and trauma, and I was like, I'm not in that space anymore. Yes, when I think about certain things or people, it may take me to a place, but overall, I'm not in that space anymore. Like I'm really in a motivational, just back to myself. Yes, I got all this personality that God knows I have lived and had an amazing extracurricular activities in my life. But I'm educated, and I have different thoughts and opinions about things, and so I want to do poems again because I feel like it's a freedom there, and I feel like I flow well in that space with expressing myself. And so it's going to be two books. The first book,
Oh,
I say that I am sharing my thoughts with people. The second book, I'm sharing my passion and my sensuality. So in the one book that I'm sharing my thoughts, I'm talking about motivational topics and, just faith. I talk on, Black culture. I have one poem talking about Black culture. I have one poem that I dedicated to like some of my favorite Black artists. And it's just my thoughts on different things, various life topics and things like that. You might get one or two that go to a one of those emotion pulling at your heartstring type of pieces, but that's
mhm.
not what this is. But this is really more of a motivational. Let's have a regular conversation with Ramon about life. Then the second book, and that was called Peekaboo. I'll go ahead and tell you the cover because I'm probably gonna end up posting for the next week anyway. So it's called Peekaboo. My
You know
thoughts
I'm
while
writing it down, looking for it on
yeah, yeah.
Amazon.
Peekaboo. And then the second book is called Post Pressure and Pleasure. Post Pressure Pleasure.
That sounds like my damn toy. Mm.
Everything is about sex, love, and romance I will say the difference, and that I'm proud of myself in this, is that when you look at my first three books, those who have read the books know that those are erotica romance type book, and I'm very, very graphic and uncensored in those. And although I am still uncensored in this book with the specific poems that have to do with sexual activity, I like that I'm showing my growth and my verbiage. So I can still give you the same feeling, but I don't have necessarily use the same graphic words. So I think I really show my versatility and growth. But I go there in some parts. Don't get it twisted now. And so, yes, that's what I have come in the first quarter of the year.
I am looking forward to that so much, and I can't wait. I'm still, going through the other books. I haven't, shame on me, I haven't gotten your last book, which I'm going to remind myself to get that this week. So, with that, leading into the next question that I have, since you are a different writer, you have various genres of the different types of books that you write, poems and whatnot. What is an opinion that you have that others may disagree with, and you feel so strongly about it that you'll cuss and fight with them?
I'll cuss and fight with them?
Mm-hmm. So let me give you mine first. Mine is with Black culture. Right now, that's a big, big issue. I might get a little flack with this, but I'm still gonna say it because it is my opinion.
Not to cut you off. Do you like the fact that I'm doing this beard game again? I'm liking how my facial hair looking. I'm sorry to cut you off. Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
Girl, I can't stop looking at my skin.
You're looking good. You're looking good. I see it.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Are you gonna grow it all the way back?
Yes, God.
Okay. Let me refocus.
Okay.
So,
yeah, Black culture.
Black culture. I feel like, for me, my opinion, again, this is my opinion, I feel like African American culture versus Afro-Caribbean and African culture is so different, even though we're under the same umbrella, because of how we were raised. We don't have the same experiences, and oftentimes being grouped together as one, we lose focus of what, I don't know how I'm probably misquoting it, but we lose focus on what we are as a people. So oftentimes I get, I see certain things online and I'm just like, when it came to a lot of the violence and things that you see in America, me growing up in a Caribbean household, yes, it was there, but I was never privy to that and never saw that. Because on the island, it was just, everybody was just a person.
Right.
So now that we're in America and you're seeing such disparity of Black people, Black culture, is like, dang, they only see me as being Black and not as an individual. And I have a problem with that. I do.
And I get where you're coming from. And you said something very important. You coming from a Caribbean family, and you authentic Caribbean, like your ass was born and raised in the island. So like because you got some of y'all been here since birth. You are very much Americanized. No, your family, y'all born and raised in the islands. And so, number one, it's not to be ashamed of. I feel like it's a strength to your story. I feel that because there's a trauma that you didn't have to be aware of growing up.
Right.
There's certain conversations that your parents didn't have to have with you in the islands about what to do, what not to do when you leave your home. There was conversations my uncles and my grandparents had to have with us. I understand the frustration when you guys come from your respective country or island. Number one, let's talk about culture as a whole. Caribbean culture and Black American. You guys have a culture that is inbred and passed through generations. Let's be real. We don't. Let's be real. We don't. And when I say some of the cultures, it's how y'all raise each other. It's how y'all, the discipline, the focus on education. There is a I don't want to say a blueprint, but there's like a list of things that you can guarantee every Caribbean family is going to instill these. This is going to exist in their household. We don't have that in America. You can have 10 families on the same street. Probably about half of us going to be raised different values, different standards. Our cultures are more subculture within a big culture here in America. And so you may have certain traditions that are passed along, whether it's certain soul foods, whether it's the love for HBCUs, whether it's the love for the Black church. But overall, there's not a standard culture like you have the Caribbeans, the Asians, the Indians. It's not. And a big part of y'all culture is community. We don't have that. It's such a dog eat dog, crab in the barrel type of thing here in America. And so I understand the frustration when you guys come here and you're like, wait a minute, like I can't just chill in my house and leave my front door unlocked? Or wait, what do you mean I gotta be worried about all this? I can't just walk down the street to the corner store with my friends. What do you mean what does being dark gotta do with anything? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, wait, I live here. Why can't I just walk down the street? So what's the lights out? We together.
Right.
So yeah.
And everything's it's just so just
and then your
out there right
schools,
now.
Everybody look like y'all, talk like y'all. You ain't got to worry about going to a school now. People want to talk about you because your accent's strong. They don't understand what you're saying. Or worrying about, like, there's Asians and there's whites, and you're no longer the majority like you are in the islands. So it's a big culture shock for you all when you come here. And I think that one of the issues with our culture is that we've lost a sense of community. I really feel like we've lost a sense of community and we lost a sense of togetherness. But it keeps being proven every time when we do come together for something, how powerful we can be. And I think we forget that so many times.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like right now, there's a thing on TikTok, which is calling for the Black girl follow trend. And, this is where if you are a Black female, it doesn't matter where you're from or where, as long as you are a Black female, I follow you, you follow me, and, review each other's content. Love that. Other cultures I've seen on that app are extremely upset just because, and I'm not understanding why. Why is it such a big problem for us to just be amongst people who we feel comfortable with? And when I'm talking about, they big mad. They
like, and this is other cultures or other races.
Yeah, other races. They're like,
because they get nervous. Upset. I feel like there is a concept that is passed, or maybe a mentality. Let me back up. I think it's a mentality that is passed down unknowingly. It might be hereditary. Because when we, as people of color, get together, other races get nervous. Let me give you a brief history, since we brought up my fraternity early in the episode. So we were founded in 1911. Or we were incorporated in 1911. And one of the things that we used to do in regards to the cane, I'm looking at my cane one of my canes hanging on the door, is that we would hang the cane in a tree. This is one of the reasons why we carry canes. So we would hang the cane in a tree. And the direction that the hook was facing, you knew to walk that direction until you saw the next cane and the hook facing that way. That's how we communicated to meet up. Because back in those days, and it was, all kind of segregation, all kind of crap, it's 1911. Too many of us could not get together because the government would feel like, we're trying to overthrow them. What are we trying to do? Even back in slavery, they didn't want us to read and write because it would make us too powerful. And so when you talk about at Indiana University, where we were founded, literally the only Black men on campus became the founders of our organization. You're talking about 10 men, okay? and they could not go into the student center or the library and all 10 of them sit together and have a meeting. No. You had to go somewhere away from the school, away from where the white folks can find you, because they would literally hang you, beat you, like it. And this has been carried on for years. Even if you go to the civil rights movement with Martin and all them, Megan Evers and just all these people. That's why they would meet in people's houses or meet certain places or whatever. Because we see these movies that would happen if you just saw 2 or 3 of them together, let alone 10 or 15 or 20. And so I still feel that to this day, there is something in their psyche that when too many of us get together, they get nervous. I also feel like we don't help the goddamn situation, because we know how sometimes when a lot of us get together, you got to have extra police, some fights break up. We always know that, unfortunately, some of us don't know how to act. And I do think that we do have a part to play in why other races have that mentality. But unfortunately, it's coming down to a few bad apples spoiling the bunch for everybody.
Yeah, unfortunately. And that leads me into like a brotherhood or sisterhood. One of my questions that I had, it was in reference to friendship, and I wanted to talk about the Shanquella Robinson story.
Jesus.
So that one kind of touched me, because I look at my friendships as I do my family.
Absolutely.
And I value my friendships. And once you break that trust, it's like I can't get back to that. I can't fully trust you enough. So one of the questions that I have is, what does friendship mean to you? And when do you think it is time for you to move on from a friendship?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, am I going too deep? Too deep?
No. I love it, because I don't have these conversations or questions too often. So friendship to me, first of all, let me just say, there are 2 words that I don't use loosely. That is friends or friendship. That is friends and love. There are a lot of people who probably consider me a friend. I don't consider them one. However, for the people that I have considered a friend, there's a safe space that is there for each other. We have bonded over something, whether it's life experiences, whether it's supporting each other, whether it's commonalities. We have bonded. So you have a bond, you have a safe space, and there's a level of trust. And for me, trust is earned. We have earned each other's trust. There's no judgment. If I consider you a friend, that means I feel like I can come to you with all layers pulled back. You won't judge me. You will tell me what I need to hear, but you won't judge me. To me, that's friendship. When it's time for me to exit stage left, I always say that I'm a person that gives multiple chances. So if I choose to cut you off, you have handed me the scissors and knife to do it for you. Because I'm optimistic, I'm open-minded. Once again, I'm not a friend based on condition. So if you do something, say something to hurt my feelings, we can move past it. If you do something I don't like, whether it's to me or somebody else, we can move past it. There has to be accountability and communication. We can move past it. So when you've handed me those knife and scissors to cut you off for you, that means that you are stressing my life and no longer enhancing it. Whether it's a friendship, whether it's a relationship with your family, whether it's a relationship with a romantic partner, these relationships should enhance your life, not stress it. If you are adding unnecessary stress to my life, you need to go. If I feel like I can't be myself and I have to be guarded, what do we have? And so for me, once you break that emotional, because once I can't trust you,
it's over. It's
over because you've broken an emotional connection. And that can't be that can't be repaired.
Yeah, I
So yeah.
agree with that. Like, what are some signs that you see or that you notice that tells you exit stage left? Like, what things do you see? Um, for me, I look at, which is weird. You know, I vibe people. I always go on vibes. If your vibe is off, I'm going to question it, right?
Absolutely.
So one of the things that I look at, I try to be observant, but I am blind. I look at how you treat me if I back myself away from you as a person.
Mm.
I see if you reach out to me, like if I'm the one who's constantly calling you
Ooh, shut your mouth.
and reaching out to you, if I stop that, I want to see if you're going to do that to me. Are you going to reach out to me like, hey, I haven't heard from you, da 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 da. That's how I see it's time to go. Because
Hello.
if I'm the one who's reaching out to you all the time, and then if I decided on, not being able to communicate, maybe I am going through something mentally. You don't know if you don't reach out to me.
Correct. It's all about one, and I'm glad you said that, because one thing that I'm no longer doing in my life, because let's be clear, over this last year, babe, there are some friendships, there are some relationships, whether it's friends or family, severed, cut, I'm done, because I'm not going to be a part of a one-sided situation. What you describe is a one-sided situation. That is not a friendship. That is an arrangement. And we do not have time to be a part of that. And I oh my God, so crazy you said that. I love that, because yeah, if I'm always reaching out, that's definitely a sign. If every time I tell you the truth, you get mad or you get offended, but I'm just telling the truth. Yeah, that's a problem for me. Because if you can dish it but not take it, or if you're not willing to grow, because I'm always on the path of growth. And if you're willing to stay stagnant or can't nobody tell you nothing, yeah, I can't do that. That's a sign for me to exit stage left. If I feel like you got too many different sides of you to keep up with, because you're always trying to keep up with the Joneses, or you like to be fake, you like to keep up these facades, you're one way around this person, you're one way around this person, I don't even know who the hell you are. Yeah, I'm here to be friends with one person. These different personalities, that's what therapy and medication for, that's not me.
Yes. And I agree with you, family included, because there was a family member that up till this day, I don't know what I did to this person, but I find myself just becoming more and more distant to the point where I had to cut them off.
Mm-hmm.
And it hurt so much because me and this person was so close.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have never thought in a million years that this family member would have done the things that I'm finding out.
Bro, you'd be surprised what family will do to you.
I've never had that happen. I've never experienced, like, you hear about it, but then to actually experience it, that put me on a whole different level of, I'm not opening my heart to nobody like that. Like how I'm not letting my guard down the way how I did before.
That's why we're so close, because I feel like we've had maybe different traumas or different experiences with people, but it has affected us the same, so we relate. Girl, let me tell you something. I have had family, when I love you, I love hard. And so I have had family I would do anything for. I would do anything for. But baby have lied on me, lied behind my back, spread rumors. I didn't even know. And smiling in my face with all this love and yeah. But when I'm not around, talk about me like a dog. And I'm like, wait, what? They said I did what? When I what? And wait, what? Oh yeah.
And the fact that you defend them all the time, like that's what gets
That's
me.
the crazy part. It's so crazy you said that. Let me tell you something. And I go in. Can't nobody say nothing about no Gomes. I'm gonna cut you away. I'm gonna cut your knees. You can't say nothing bad to me about no Gomes. Do not play with me. the Alines, known as
man.
There are just certain relationships and bonds. I'm not sure Tatiana, the Philippines. I'm not sure if you still. I think you were gone.
I think she was like actually
they were little. Y'all three. Can I say that? Do not say nothing negative about this family. I'll tell you right now. It's as if you saying something about me or another Fluellen. Don't play with me.
Yes.
And that's how I would be with some of these relatives, and to know that behind my back, you were standing doing what? Mine the whole time, I'm like, my grandmother, rest in peace, used to always tell me that I have a blind eye to certain things and people in this family. And when I tell you there are people my grandma used to tell me to be careful about, but because, oh, excuse me, Jesus, but because I loved them or I thought, oh no, my relationship with them gonna be different, baby, let me tell you something. I wish she was alive today so I could tell her, God done it, lady, you told me the truth. I should listen to you
Right.
then.
Yeah, she was
But,
right.
you,
And
but
it
you're
just
not
makes
thinking your
me
own
think.
family. Your own
Right.
family? Like
And you
what?
know how we are. You know how we are when it comes to family. Like, it's just something about, oh, you a part of me. The same blood in you is in me. So why would you treat me like that? Why would you say and do these things? It just took me off guard. But
That's why I've always
I
said
had to learn.
blood can make you a relative. Blood does not make you a family. And one of my cousins said something so amazing because, um, we've gone through some things as a family. We've lost our grandparents, and we're 4 months apart. So me and her been close. Literally, I'm gonna find a picture and show you. We've been close, following each other before we could walk.
Oh,
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And we were just having a conversation where I was talking about, I ain't got no parents anymore. I have siblings, but we weren't raised together, so it's not like siblings. You know what I'm saying? And so she said something to me where she was like, "We don't have to come from the same mom and dad to be siblings." Ah, that just
oh my
touched me,
God.
and that just touched me and took me to a place. Like I know me and her was close, and I know she never hesitated to share her parents. I love my uncle and aunt, by the way. She never hesitated to share them with me. I never knew that her love for me was like that. And so shout out to my cousin Shanice. I'm gonna make her listen to this episode. But I don't think she realized how much she affected me when she said that to me. That's why my cousin Shanice said, "Oh my God, you can't tell me nothing about her." Oh my, nope. Her and her
Oh,
sister
I
and
love
her
that.
brother, her kids, her man, I'll do anything for them.
Oh my God, I
But
love that. Like, it's
yeah,
just I never, because I call you my brother all the time. Like,
absolutely.
you my family. Like, anything,
Yeah,
I don't care what's going on, you my brother, right?
absolutely.
But
Hello.
if you need to pull up, we gonna pull up. Okay.
Listen, since high school, hello somebody. For
They
real.
ain't ready, right?
Hmm.
So it made me start thinking about
Girl, you remember when we got kicked out the movies together? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I
I
was
didn't say what else happened. I just said we got kicked. Yeah.
okay, since you brought it up, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Listen,
How
first
do
of all,
you remember what happened?
girl,
Why we have but a
I
whole bucket
remember
of
every
chicken
time I watched
inside?
the damn, because that's one of my favorite movies, Half Past Dead. I love that
Yes,
movie. I
I
remember
was
every
mad
time I watched the
too,
damn movie.
and I had to go to jail.
So let me briefly tell this story. So it was a
Listen,
bunch of us. Matter of fact, I had came home from vacation. I was supposed to go back to FIU the next day. And this was a Saturday night, and so we was all hanging out. Me, you, both of your sisters, Alicia. I think you had a cousin or somebody in town, such a sweet girl. I can't think
mhm.
of her name. And it was a few of us. And I remember, first of all, we snuck in Popeyes,
We were
and
sharing the chicken.
we all sat in this one row, and we go to Cinema World to see Half Past Dead. Morris Chestnut, Ja Rule, I think DMX, and whoever else. And me and you were sitting by each other. I feel
We
like
talking shit all the time.
you was talking shit as usual. We've been doing this since we was kids. Although I
Hmm.
feel like you were probably more louder than I am. We was doing it together.
Just
And
a little
so,
bit.
yeah, and so the guy comes and kick us out.
And I was mad too. I was like, I paid for this goddamn movie. I'm gonna see this movie.
Baby, when that man come kicked us out, that patois and that Caribbean came out of
It
Lauren,
did.
you cussed him out. I remember walking out. They kicked us out the entire building. And we was gonna just we were minors. We roll with people. So we're gonna sit
Right.
out here and chill and wait for them to come out. I think it was probably like halfway through the movie. So me and you just chilling, talking shit, da 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 da. Of course, you're pissed off. So you running off.
I know you didn't understand shit that I was saying.
No. And so then I guess they wanted us to completely leave the entire property. Like we're outside. We're just sitting here chilling, waiting for our people to come out. Baby, they had to call the police on us.
Yeah.
But Miss Lauren was like, baby, she not moving. And she cussing these people out in her patois. And I was like, I got to go back to college in the morning. I can't be going to jail. Like, what is going on right now?
You hauled ass.
I didn't haul ass. What I did was I walked towards the end of the damn parking lot. Because I need to go use my phone to be like, y'all need to come get your ass out here, Lauren, for go to jail.
Yeah.
And I remember they came out, your sisters came out, your cousin, and I was like, no, don't take me home. Go with y'all. We can go. I'm not leaving my friend. We can go up here and get this girl out. And I remember we didn't make it. I didn't make it back to my grandma's house. Bless her soul. She was up waiting when she wasn't still. She fell asleep, but she was sitting in her chair. 5 in the morning. And this how you know. This how you know we close. And my grandparents love y'all because she walked in. I walked in. I know you ain't walking in my house. At no 5 in the morning. Where in the world you think you coming from? I don't play them kind of games. Now, part of me wanted to say, well, I'm grown, and I'm literally going to go back to college in like 3 hours. Like, lady, we're not finna do this right now. I want to go to bed. But the flip side of me was like, this is a situation where I can tell her the truth because of the people I was with. And as soon as I mentioned Gomes, oh, okay, is she okay? Yeah, she fine. She on and whatever. But yeah, I'll never forget that night. That was
like the thing. I think the reason why I was going off even more
was white.
Because
yes, the cop was white.
I was already walking away, and remember during that time I had like extreme anemia, like to the point where if I start running, I can pass out, and it was just really bad. Right. So of course I'm taking my time, and not only did I want to make sure that my sisters came out, I was being a little petty too, but I was taking my time and I was actually leaving. The fact that he came up behind me and told me, oh, she would do real good in jail. She's very pretty. Excuse me? And I think that's when I lost it.
That's what set you off.
Cussing his ass out too. I don't give a damn if you're a cop or not. How dare you say that to a woman, period? And then, the Melbourne cops, they racist as hell anyway. It just made it even worse. And
this was West. This was West Melbourne.
West Melbourne.
So it was very much,
my God,
not too far of us. We were not on. How we went to the theater, like the Palm Bay Theater by me, or the one I was out there by y'all, that probably would have been a different experience. But we was on their side of town because that is, it's a really nice theater.
Right.
Yeah.
It really got me so mad. And I think that's the reason why he came up behind me. Because I told him he could kiss my ass. And he was like, oh, she'll be real pretty. And like, how you gonna say that? And then what's crazy about it is that in a cop car, I'm still cussing too, child. I didn't care. I was still cussing.
I don't think I knew that part. So you were still going off in the cop car.
I was still going off because I'm like, you wrong for doing what you're doing. I didn't do anything. And then I switched my accent because I knew he wasn't understanding me. And I said to him, I said, I didn't do anything to you. Why would you do this to me?
And we were kids. We weren't even 20 yet.
No, we weren't 20 yet.
Yeah, we were kids. Yeah. I had just started college.
Like, come the hell on, come on. So he's just, he's laughing and he's talking and whatever, that I was like, what, this is some bullshit. And after that, I just kept quiet. So when we got to the precinct now, why was the other cop, he was so nice. And he was like, because he did do the arrest, I have to go through the system and do all that stuff. He was like, you don't even need to be in jail. But, because he was a higher ranking officer and all that other crap. I'm just like, man, you know what? If it wasn't for the first cop, I think the second cop would have let me go.
Yeah.
let me go. And I'm just like, damn, after all these years, I'm just like, it still bothers me. And I think that's why I have a love-hate relationship with authority, because it's like, I'll fuck a cop in a day. Like, we're gonna put them muscles to the test.
The muscles and them handcuffs.
But,
Hello, somebody.
Don't try to assert your authority over me, because we two people.
Hello.
Like, talk to me. Like, that's what I feel like. If you have a problem with me, talk to me, tell me, it's because of this or X, Y, and Z. Granted, I wasn't gonna listen to shit because I was already heated. But and I was young and dumb. So I was doing all kind of stuff. And I'm just like, this is unreal. Unfriggin' real. But that was our lifestyle. I have so many more stories.
That was probably the first of many memories together. Because I was like,
I don't know if you remember this other situation where we were at the movies closer to Palm Bay, I believe, closer to the mall. I don't remember the name of the movie theater, but it was.
I know you're talking about. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
It was you, me, Ricky, Erickson, Lisa. All of us was at the movies or whatever, and there was a disagreement between somebody, and then like they started throwing popcorn. So I'm just like, you laughing? So I'm just like, what the hell is going on? And then Lisa was getting mad, and I'm like, what you getting mad for? And didn't understand what was going on, right? So, and of course, she's 5 years younger than me, so of course she hot-headed too. And I'm just like, what the hell? So it's like, situations like that makes me think like us going to the same church. We all should. For me and you. Oh yes, the same school too, because I think they was going to the same school. And I'm just like, what the hell? And when you try to understand the situation, what happened? Because y'all was behind me. What was the situation back then? Because I know it was Ricky, may he rest in peace, so young. Yeah. And it's like, I think they had a beef. I'm being nosy now because, I'm grown out. What the hell happened?
So Erickson and Rick were always really close. And what was the issue? I mean, they were throwing popcorn. They were throwing food. But they were some years under us. Yeah. Because I remember when I went off to college, I think Ricky was only in like the 10th grade. So there was some year. It was some petty teen love type of shit. Because I want to say, it was some petty teen love type of crap. Yeah. And I feel like
something else, like.
No, it wasn't nothing.
Off, and I'm like, I don't understand this. This don't make sense to me.
Because I can't remember if the person was Lisa's friend or how she was affiliated with the situation. But it was Ricky at the center of it. But I can't remember how Lisa got involved. I feel like it was one of her friends or someone she knew really well. But yeah.
Well, we grown now. We passed that. I was just trying to be nosy because you said I could ask you anything, and that was one thing that I always wanted to ask, and I never got answers to.
Right? Yeah. Ask me whatever.
So it makes me think like how easy it is because I call you Petty Pisces.
I love that title. I pray for deliverance for a lot of things. I mean, from a lot of things. That ain't one of them.
So what is the most pettiest thing that you have done that you can share? Because I know some of them are off the wall. I can tell you what. I'm gonna let you go first, and I'm gonna tell you the pettiest thing I did. I know it's funny as shit, but
oh my God, I have done so much. Which one I want to share? I mean, right? I'm petty. Listen, I love King Petty. I'm King Petty up until this day. Since I'm gonna say the first thing that came to my mind. So there was this girl when we was all at Palm Bay High. even you was still at Palmy High too. We was all at Palmy High, and there was this girl that she really liked one of my cousins, one of my male cousins on my biological father's side. And of course, I don't, he was never there, so I don't have a relationship really with that side. And so any relatives that I came across on that side of my family and we got along, I tried to be very protective of it. You know what I'm saying? And so there was a cousin of mine. He went to Palmy High with us. His name was Alex Gore. I don't know if you remember that name. He was on the varsity basketball team and everything. Okay. And so this girl that was in my class, she wanted to date, but she wanted to screw him. Really, let's be real about it, right? And I can't remember if he had this, but I knew his girlfriend. My cousin, I can't remember if he was with her at that time. That's not my business. But I remember this classmate of mine wanted to get me. And so I said, okay, well, I'll make the introduction and y'all go from there because I believe he got a girlfriend and I'm not finna be in the midst of that because I liked her. She also played basketball varsity too. I think she went to FSU, but she also played basketball. Long story short, I made the introduction. They get to know each other. And her fast ass ends up leaving school early one day to go to his house. Of course, I knew it was going to happen. I didn't have an issue with that. Where the petty in me was activated, Mama decided to come back to school and brag about things that she should have kept from me, my cousin, number one. But number two, she bragged about things and made it seem like it was more than what it was. Ma'am, you lied to my family. You might want to settle down. You might want to settle down. You lied to my family. Wait a minute, because that's not what happened. So I guess she didn't learn her lesson, and she decided she wants to cause. I guess she's going to try to cause some problem for my cousin. She comes to school one day. I want to say we had first or second period together. So as I'm walking to the class, she calls me to her locker. And Mama is showing me her I guess her backpack. It was more like a duffel bag. Mama has beer in her bag on school property. Because what she's about to do is get my cousin to take her home, get my cousin to take her to his house. And they was gonna get whatever she wanted to happen, right? You already have shown me that you can tell lies. And so now you finna get my cousin, because she's a very pretty girl, so I'm sure he wasn't gonna turn her down. You finna, in spite of the craziness, how some of us men can be, they still, You now finna engage with my cousin or try to engage him again with alcohol involved, and I already have seen to be a lie. So what I'm finna do is protect my family.
Period.
Officer Bird.
He don't play either.
And listen, Officer Bird was like a mentor to me growing up.
Yes.
Officer Bird is one of my favorite people in the world. Dang. The memories. Officer Bird was a big part of some of my favorite high school memories. The stuff that man let me, the way that man spoiled me, first of all. But so I told her, Mama got expelled. Now I thought she was gonna get suspended.
She got okay.
But something happened that she was able to come back and walk with us. So I think they ended up putting her in night school.
Oh.
And so fast forward 2 years, because we were like sophomores at the time. Fast forward 2 years, she was able to come back and walk with us. And me and her had a conversation. And there was no hard feelings. What was crazy about it was when the situation happened, at that time, the rec over the Liston Street Community Center, they used to have a baseball league, and we just always go there to hang out. And I remember shortly after she got kicked out of school, we happened to both be at the park at the same time. Now we have mutual friends. And I remember us standing there, and she walked up. Listen, I'm protecting my family. No hard, no foul for me. I mean, I know you kicked out of school, but whatever. And I remember them asking her, "Dang, where you at?" She's like, "Well, I'm going to Palm Behind no more." And so she was like, "Dang, what happened?" So she looked at me. I remember her looking at me. Times to ask him. I said, "You want me to really tell why you're not at school, or do you want to tell them your version?"
Oh my God. I cannot. I cannot. Oh
I
my
bet you.
God.
So yeah, I don't play. That was probably the most petty thing that I could think of I did as a child.
Mm-hmm.
But I've done so much. I mean, I've done so much. What about you? I know you said you did something.
So, okay. You know how I have these relations with people, right? Specifically my ex.
Yeah, that
And
bastard.
mm, mm.
Girl, what
So
you
you know
did?
how they always say there's things that you can do without getting yourself arrested or whatever.
Hello, somebody. Yeah.
Wanted to get at him, right?
Hmm.
So I remember listening to one of my friends talking about things that she wanted to do to her ex. And it just, it's something that you just store in your mind for when that day comes. Well,
Hmm.
the day finally came. So he had his car windows down, and I bought some milk and threw it in the car, like emptied it in the car under the mats. And Florida heat ain't no joke. It
Oh
was taken.
wow!
It was taken. So
I know it
I can
did.
only imagine every time he tried to open the door, it's like, you piece of shit. That's what you smell like, and that's what you did to me.
Hello, somebody.
And I did it. I did.
Mm.
What you gonna call the police and tell them, oh, she threw milk in my car?
Hello.
I didn't scratch your car. I didn't do anything. The milk spilled. Like,
That is so funny.
so it's just something that, I think that was one of the pettiest things that I did. And I would love to have seen the look on his face
Uh-huh.
because he forgot I had a key.
Oh, that's
He
so
forgot
funny.
I had a key. So of course the key is somewhere in some kind of pond somewhere, because I didn't care anymore. And it's just like when people do you wrong, you just gotta let it go. And I think now I'm at that place. I mean, I'm
Uh-huh.
still petty in my ways, but
Hello.
I'm better now. I'm in a better space.
I have
It's been
no
a couple
desire
of
to
years, so
change.
maybe wait, 6, 7, about 7 or 8 years now since that happened.
I have no desire to change my petty. Let me tell you something. My granddad used to always say, "Y'all know the boy not rap type." He used to always tell them that. And I remember when I was at the funeral speaking, that was one of the things I said. I'm gonna miss you telling my mama and my uncles. Don't y'all tell that boy that, cause y'all know he not rap type.
Yeah, right.
My granddad always knew I was something else. And I think that's why my grandma, when I was asleep, she would always wake me up praying over me with her oil. I think she always knew I was something else.
Oh my God. Like, I can only imagine. Oh, I miss them. It's like, certain things that they would do is just, it's a
Oh,
constant reminder of how grateful you are to have had them and be a part of their life
oh,
and have them in
absolutely.
front of yours. So
I still
I
get
love
fed by
that.
the
I can,
memories.
I can just
I
imagine.
still get fed by the memories to this day. Yeah. Oh,
I
I was a
can
trip.
imagine
Oh,
that.
I was a piece of work.
Look, we all look.
Ooh, oh
Okay,
my
look.
God.
So another thing I wanted to touch bases on is about financing, because remember I told you I was going to bring this up earlier today. So,
Listen,
how old is too old to have an OnlyFans? Because right now, the way how this thing is setting up, I might have to follow Lunel and create an OnlyFans.
so with OnlyFans, there's a lot of different type of content you can have. So
I don't know. I ain't never done it.
yes, you have those who are having full on sex, right? But there's a lot of people who have foot fetishes. So you can take a picture of your feet. You can do whatever the hell Linnell is doing. Listen, you're not hurting nobody. I personally don't feel as if there's an age limit. I feel like whatever you have to offer, there's somebody out there who's gonna want to see it. There are when you walk into a sex store, there are porn with old people, grannies and granddaddies. There are porn with the old people, and there are people who love to watch that. So I don't necessarily think that, because for me, it's about two things with OnlyFans: pleasure and coins. So either you need more coins or you just love coins, period, and so you want more. So for me, I'm first, listen, I'm an open-minded person. Whatever makes you happy, as long as you're not bothering nobody, I personally think it should be an age limit. So if you want to be on there and shake your tatas or show your feet and you 85, listen, and people are gonna pay to see.
I'm like, nah.
And people gonna pay to see.
In my mind, like, I understand why she did, because I love the fact of how confident she is, even at her age. Like, that's an inspiration to be at that age and still being able to say, hey, look at me. I know I still got it. Because look, nobody can tell me she can't pull them like 23, 25-year-olds. Like, she got it. I know she do. But I'm just saying, like you said, there shouldn't be an age limit. And everybody have their own thing. I might have to start selling feet pics.
And my thing with feet pics is, what harm is that, right? What harm is it with the feet pics? Because let's say you go get a big time job, or a job that is reputable, where they may want to search online and you ain't broke no kind of moral, ethical. You've done nothing by showing your feet.
I don't know. Just
now,
in my mind,
if you're showing your feet and people on there sucking your toes, then that's a little different. That's a little different. Have you ever had a man suck your toes?
Good Lord, yes. Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. So I'm ticklish. And the first time somebody put their mouth on my feet, I didn't know what was going on, but I didn't want it to stop, babe. Let me tell you something. I didn't know what was going on. It feels so good. Especially when you ticklish. Okay, but yeah, I'm sorry. OnlyFans. Yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with it.
You just put me in a thought process. So I was thinking about that experience, and my first time having it done to me. It was like, that was his thing. He loved feet. So I always had to get my feet done, because in my mind, it's like, I got a story about gripping sheets too. I'm going to tell you about that. Okay. I'm going to tell you about that. So anyways, with this one now, he had a thing for feet. He always used to just, rub on my feet, and it's just something that he did. So when we was in the action, he was like, he asked my permission to do it. And I was like, yeah, like, I've never thought about it, but my God, the way his tongue was going around the toes and in the crevices and just sucking in the warmth of his mouth and the wetness of his mouth on my feet. I said, you gotta come up, you gotta go up north. I couldn't help it. So he went up north, and my God, that was the best experience that I have had with oral sex that he gave me. I ain't never had no man turn my ass out like that.
That's a good definition of when somebody said they're gonna lick you from the root to the tutor. Yeah.
Well,
they start from the toes and work. Start from the toes and work their way up.
It just
did it ever use ice cubes?
Not on my toes, but
no, not the toes, but the vajayjay. Oh, okay,
yeah.
Okay. What about hot sauce?
Nope, but I use Vicks.
Really?
Baby, let me tell you, I'm nasty.
I've done hot sauce, give and receive.
I use Vicks because the Vicks has.
But not that Caribbean shit, because y'all shit too spicy. Louisiana, babe, I need some shit that's weak.
No, the Vicks thing. It was like it gives the sensation of heat and coolness at the same time.
Okay.
And then since it's like a petroleum based like product, me and my dumb ass didn't think I was gonna get anything from it. But my God, that experience, it left you so refreshed after the fact. Every time you walk, you feeling it, baby. It was on fire.
I love it. You know that's
It's
why
just
some.
it's so crazy.
You know that's why some women get their clit pierced. Because you could just be walking down the street and get an orgasm.
I can't do that. No, I can't.
But no, seriously. But seriously, so you know, when you're walking down the street, or you just wherever you're at, if depending on what the fabric of your clothing is, yeah, if it's rubbing up on that while you're walking, or let's say you outside and a combination of the fabric you got on and let's say the wind blowing a certain way, yeah, you want to see the orgasm. I remember back in the day when Janet Jackson came out with her Velvet Rope album, and that's when she had the red hair, had really changed a lot about herself. And I remember her at that time she was open about she had that done, and she had talked about like she could have an orgasm at any given moment and does not know when it's coming. She was like, she could be in a whole goddamn dance rehearsal, and it'd be like, wait a minute, pause the rehearsal, give me a moment. Especially when you Janet Jackson and we know how she performs.
Yeah,
And so you with your background dancers and y'all doing what y'all doing, and you got that. Wait a minute, sir. Hold on, what's going on? Wait,
oh my God. I can just imagine it. Suppose she was in an interview, and then it just came on. And it was just so strong. She was like, everybody have their own thing. By all means, hey, go for it, right? That's something that I'm looking forward to. Why not?
I remember we was at Palm Bay High, and we used to run track. They used to talk about us because they said us guys, because you have the short shorts.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, why Palm Bay High runners always erect?
Wait, what?
We were all, huh? Yeah.
What you?
So when we was running track at Palm Bay High, they would talk about us because they were like the guys on our team, me included. For some reason, we will always be erect. I can speak for myself. I wasn't doing nothing because my granddad and my uncle was coming to the track meet, so I couldn't sneak off and do nothing. I don't know if it was the weather. I don't know what it was, but they used to always talk about our track team because.
See, I was never into like the sports because remember since it was my last year, I never really got too close to too many people.
Right.
So right. I don't know. Oh, I should have.
Baby.
I would want to see that. Just making me think. Anywho's. Yes. So, okay. So talking about celebrities, right? Keke Palmer being pregnant.
Go ahead. What's the question? I'm not a big fan of her, but go ahead.
Why not?
Something about her personality. So let me say, okay, so two things. Something about her personality, or her personality irks me. I think she's a pretty girl. I think she's talented. I do think that she has quite a big head that's not deserving. Let me give you a situation. So somebody compared her to Zendaya. And instead of her ignoring the comment, and I don't know if it was a blogger or a fan or who it was, but they were comparing her and Zendaya. And she starts to say how, I guess she didn't like the comparison. I think they're basically saying that Zendaya was better or more talented, whatever the comparison was. Zendaya had nothing to do with it. And so she goes on this, I don't want to say a rant, but she puts this post on social media where she's talking about, I've been a leading lady since this age, and I've done this, and I'm the first to do it. And I was just like, that means nothing. Because if you're trying to say that because this is your resume, you're a better entertainer than Zendaya, you're a liar. You can sing better than her, but you're not a better actress. You're not richer. Oh, they was talking about success because Zendaya is significantly richer. Keke Palmer was a child star, we know that, and she has had her level of success. She has not been a part of big time projects like Zendaya is. Is it colorism? Is it the color of her skin? I'm not going to say that, but I know that Zendaya had a bigger machine behind her because she came from Disney. We all know Disney kids, you're given a whole different platform when you get older. This girl has been in Spider-Man movies. Girl, what the fuck was you in? Aquila and the fucking Bee? This girl was in Spider-Man movies. This girl has her own show on TV where she has won not one but 2 Emmys, and she's the youngest black girl to ever do it. So although you're the first black girl to play a fucking Cinderella on Broadway, you're not Brandy, who was the first black princess, period. So it's like, I don't know, and then back in the day, I felt like she was telling lies on Trey Songz. When she tried to make it seem as if Trey Songz lured her into a little sexual assault, whatever situation. Yeah, I don't know. Something been weird about that. Huh?
Sorry,
so what happened was Trey Songz was having a party. And the party was going to be a part of a project that he was doing. So therefore, there was going to be some filming going on. She tried to make it seem as if she was blindsided. And he had some other ulterior motives. And his thing was like, the intention was committed to everybody. Everybody who was going to be there had to sign release. So, like, what is this chick talking about? Like, I don't even want her. So, what is this chick talking about? And so, her stuff for me has always been kind of sketchy. And I'm like, she's a talented girl. But sometimes her personality is a little too. You come to work at 8 o'clock in the morning, and you got this coworker that's just loud and bubbly and happy at 8 o'clock in the morning. That's how I feel about Keke Palmer every time I see her. Like, girl, why is your personality so extra? Like, what, girl? Like, she's like extra for. It's like
I did not expect that from you.
Huh?
I did not expect that with Keke Palmer. I did not. I'm actually shocked by that because a lot of people at least from social media, I should say, not a lot of people, just social media is like giving her backlash because she's pregnant without being married, and you know that whole.
Oh, I don't have an issue with that. I'm happy for her.
Me too.
I'm happy for her. Girl,
I just never really thought with her personality that it would have been like. I never knew you felt that strongly about her. I did not.
But outside of that, honest to truly, I think her and her boyfriend make a wonderful couple. I think they are a very good couple. I'm happy that she's pregnant. Honest to truly, God. I don't give a damn about no out of wedlock or whatever. That girl rich as hell. I'm sure she's gonna be a great mom. I don't think she's a bad person. Her personality just irks me sometimes. But no, I'm happy for her. I don't have an issue with this out of wedlock.
Angela Simmons and Yo Gotti and their IG relationship.
Let me tell you something. I am here for it. And what's so funny is I'm a Yo Gotti fan. And I remember back in the day, well, not back in the day.
Like years ago, he'd been saying he wanted her. And now he got her.
You know,
like, what?
Yeah. And then for her, I don't know if you follow her story. Like, I watch her reality shows that she's had over the years. The father of her son was murdered. Yeah. And so she's really been going through a lot just dealing with that. But then when he was murdered, the son was old enough to be like, where's my daddy? You know what I'm saying? So there was a lot she had to go through as a single mom. And I hate to say single mom because I know her parents and her siblings have been very involved, right? You can just tell from watching them. Yo Gotti is some years older. He's older than us. And Yo Gotti has a level, how can I say this? He's the perfect type of man that she needs in her life to not just treat her how she needs to be treated, but be the influence that her sons need in the household. Because he's a businessman, he's a successful businessman. He has a dope personality. You can tell he adores her, just how he looks at her. I love it. And he's a Southern gentleman, so he got those Southern values. I'm extremely happy for both of them. I'm happy for her.
One of the things that I'm really concerned about, I hope that, he does not that mistreat her. Basically, I hope he doesn't want to get with her just to fuck her. Like, I hope that's not what the case is. Like, I really do hope that he's in this to, like, really treat her the way how
I feel like
he
is. Yeah, I feel like he is. But yeah,
I hope so, because that was just like, what?
And my thing is, let's be real. Angela Simmons is hip hop royalty. So if he screws her over, sir,
his career is done.
You're gonna be messing up business for yourself.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like you better not do her dirty, because Mr. Rum DMC.
Speaking of hip hop, why your uncle P. Diddy?
He irks me. He irks my soul. That man irks my soul.
And now him and Carisha, they official now. That girl is half this man's age.
Okay, let's touch on that.
I don't understand it. Like, I mean, I don't know.
It's a deep throat. Let me tell you something. First of all, P. Diddy is having a midlife crisis.
I think he is.
Kim Porter was the love of his life, and he never did right by her. And unfortunately, that amazing, beautiful woman died. And so now, for the first time in his life, he has to be a full-time parent. Lucky for him, all the boys are grown. He just have 3 girls that are minors. And let's talk about these girls. Because first of all, I thought he had the 3 boys. Justin, Quincy, and God forgive me for getting other boys. Oh wait, Justin, Christian, and Quincy. Yes, that's the name. Now Quincy is not biological his. That was Al B. Sure's son. But Diddy adopted him because Al B. Sure, unfortunately, Al B. Sure wasn't in his life at the time. I mean, they have a great relationship because that improved. But at that time, back in the 90s, whenever he was born, because I think Quincy's around our age. Unfortunately, Al B. Sure wasn't there, so Diddy stepped up. Whatever. Sir, you are in your 50s. Your twins that you had with the Kim Porter are 16 years old. Your twins just turned 16 because he bought them matching Range Rovers, whatever the fuck he just bought them, right? Kim Porter dying hurt you, affect you, which I understand. I understand, right? So now everybody you want to get with is these young ass girls who are the same age as your kids.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Carisha, and I'm gonna get to her, but Carisha and this new heifer, this baby mama, these heifers are the same ages as your boys. Okay? Now, you do know that temporarily he dated Lori Harvey, which is Steve Harvey, which she's been around. She's been passed around.
I heard that, but I just thought that was a lie.
No, but here's the nasty part. She dated his fucking son buku years prior to that. That's nasty. That's not my business. We all know she's been passed around. When he got with Young Miami, which is Carisha, when he got with Young Miami, I said to myself, beautiful girl, she's from down here, so of course I've seen her passing in the clubs. I don't know her, but of course I've seen her in certain clubs and right? Beautiful girl. I think she has a dope personality. I have checked out her podcast, which of course he produces. I'm gonna get to that.
Yeah.
I love Young Miami and how far she's come because she is. Listen, if you listen to their lyrics, she's living up to her lyrics. You done hook this billionaire. He's giving you any and everything. This man has done produced you a whole fucking podcast on his fucking TV channel. You Carisha's smart as hell. She's smart as hell. I thought it was gonna be a fling.
I did
I
too.
thought that they're just gonna have fun. I don't care what nobody say. Diddy is going through a midlife crisis.
Mm-hmm.
You with this girl, whatever you and her got going on. In the midst of this, you don't got this other bitch pregnant. You've been dealing with Young Miami for over a year. How this bitch get pregnant? Whatever arrangement y'all got going on, it's not my business. Why the fuck would you want more kids? Your youngest children, which are twins, are 16. What the fuck you want to have more kids? You already got kids. Like,
It
what?
makes me wonder. It makes me wonder if him and Nick Cannon is trying to do competition or something, because they running through women left and right.
Well, no, because Nick Cannon is worse, and I think Nick Cannon is selfish. Because Nick Cannon is on. Let me tell you something. And this is coming from someone who knows what it's like to not have your mom and daddy there. And I'm a fan of Nick Cannon. I think he's a very talented, smart young man. But I think what he has done is 100% selfish. Because Mariah's kid's gonna be fine because she's Mariah.
Mm-hmm.
So whether he is there or not, them kids gonna be fine. Cause Mariah gonna have her man, which she's been with the same guy for some years now, and plus she's Mariah Carey. These other heifers ain't got shit going on, except for whatever the fuck Nick Cannon paid them. Because most of these girls used to be working for Wild 'N Out. So all these, yes, that's how most of them came about. They worked for him at Wild 'N Out. So their income is whatever Nick Cannon pays them. Now they're beautiful girls, and they could possibly have other talents that they could possibly go off and make their own money. I don't know, but right now they actually ain't doing shit, but raising his baby. Here's my problem as a child who's been neglected and abandoned. Well, not abandoned, but neglected. You have 12 kids. Let me just talk about the 10 kids. Let me talk about the 10 outside of Mariah's kids. You have 10 kids. All you got 3 with this woman, 2 with this woman, 1 with so they're spread around. It is going to be 100% impossible for you to be the parent that these kids need. Just because you're rich and you can spoil and you can pay for this, that, and the third, that means nothing. It is going to be impossible for you to be the parent that these kids need. And for the fact that you continue to have these fucking kids, knowing that you will never be able to be the parent that they need, you are selfish as hell. Because all you can do is be a paycheck. Because the fucking problem is, there's not like there's no age differences between these kids. These fucking kids are around the same fucking age. So when these boys and girls grow up and they're in similar activities, one's in dance, one's in football, one's in basketball, mind you, Lauren, they don't all live in a fucking city or state. So when you talk about birthdays, when you talk about holidays, it's impossible. And then let's be clear. I don't know if you remember, Nick Cannon has some serious health issues. Yeah. What if these health issues flare up and you can't work all these 4, 5, 6, 7 jobs you got? What are you gonna do then? You have health issues. I can understand after Mariah, y'all broke up. I can understand having another one. I would never tell a man, because when we look at Lil Wayne, I'll leave it alone. But when you look at Lil Wayne, you don't never hear nothing about Lil Wayne being a deadbeat daddy. So I don't have an issue with these men having kids as long as they're going to be the father these kids need. And we've always heard that Lil Wayne is an amazing dad. And there are age differences between his kids, right? Nick Cannon having them back-to-back, baby. He having 2, 3 in the same year. So yeah, I find Nick Cannon very selfish. I find him very selfish. And I feel bad for these kids in about 10 years.
I think so. I don't know. It's just I again, not from a big family, so I don't know. I mean, we're big. It's just 6 of us. And then, of course, never married and got a little friend, whatever. But just friend. But which he's on the road. I'm not upset. whatever. Anyways, I am jealous. I'm just trying to understand what their thought process is, where they're at that age doing the things that they're doing and not considering their own children. That's where my whole thought process on that is.
Think about the future. What is a thought process? What is your purpose here? These kids are going to be affected because let's be clear. You also have to deal with jealousy issues.
Oh my God, yeah.
Mariah kids are always going to have a lot more because they're Mariah's kids. Mariah is Mariah. So her kids are going to always have more. So now you're going to have big jealousy issues amongst your kids. So yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, I have some other questions, but I don't know. Miss Easy. Huh? Kanye. What do you think is going on with him?
He needs
I think he misses Kim.
He needs residential treatment and he needs an exorcism.
Did you say an exorcism?
Yeah. He needs an exorcism. Yeah, he needs psychotherapy, he needs a residential treatment facility where he's getting medication, psychotropic medication every day, and he needs the Catholic people to come from Europe and give him an exorcism. Something's not right with this man. And you know what's so funny? That there's a part of me that feels like, so for so long, I feel like Kanye knew what he was doing. Because no matter what he did, no matter what he said, we were still buying his records. We were still going to his concerts. And babe, let me tell you something. I think Kanye West is batshit crazy. And I stand by everything I just said. But baby, his gospel album was good as hell.
Yes, it was.
Let me tell you something. That's why no matter what I would say about him negatively, I will always say he is a musical genius.
He's genius.
Because that gospel album has blessed me many a time. That Sunday service choir, Kanye West has blessed me with his music. So I'll never take that from him. But yeah, he's a troubled individual. He's troubled. He is troubled. Yeah. And I do not feel bad for some of the shit he's going through.
All right. I mean, I like that. What do we see you, hopefully, and misses you in the future? Or, anytime?
My granddaddy said to me, if you know what I know, you'll stay single.
That got me thinking, wait a minute.
So I will say this, because I had this conversation with some friends during my break. So at times, I felt that my Chrome was a relationship hurdle, because it's not a burden I want to put on anybody. But then also, I think that I'm just selfish with my time, with my time and my space. Because I need you to go the fuck home. I need you to go home. We're gonna have to have a 2-bedroom. You have your room, I have my room, and when I'm sick of you, I need you to get out. Like, go to your room.
You know, there are people who live like that, and they just have like a combining hallway. Like if they're trying to get some, and then they live their own separate lives.
Hello. But no, I'm open to it. Don't get me wrong. I am open to it. I'm not closed to it. If it happens, it happens. They definitely gonna have patience. I'm petty, spoiled, and high maintenance, or can be, and I'm a piece of work. So you definitely can't be soft and timid and shy. Like what? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I like that. So I know I don't have as many questions. I do want to ask something, but I'm gonna have to ask you off topic.
Ask whatever.
When was the last time you had sex, and who was it with?
Because it's been a.
I'm being nosy. Because they say your skin clears up when you have it, and you looking glowy right now.
Let me tell you something. This is shea butter, rest, and minding my business. This is why this look like this, okay? Shea butter, rest, and mind your business. But no, I want to say, oh my God. So let me tell you how this happened.
Oh shit.
It was the summertime, and it was so unexpected. And I don't even remember all of it because I was so drunk.
Those.
I don't remember all of it because I was so drunk.
Oh my God. I ain't trying to.
So I went to a party and I Ubered to the situation because I knew I wanted to drink and carry on. Met someone there. Wasn't for the first time, but I just hadn't seen them in a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was open bar at this event.
Oh,
and that was already a setup for me, baby. My vision is blurred through half the night. I don't remember leaving the venue. I don't remember walking to the person's, because the person drove me home. I don't remember walking to the person's vehicle. I do not remember the ride home. I can't even tell you what kind of conversation we had inside their vehicle. I legitimately, honest to God, don't remember none of this. I don't remember pulling up to my building. I don't remember walking. I have a gate where I put in the code.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember doing none of that. I don't even remember walking to my fucking apartment. What I remember is when my vision comes back, they're on my bed. I'm derobing them. And this starts to go to work.
Oh my God.
Right? Then my memory goes away. And then it comes back when we're both butt naked on my bed.
No. I'm covering my eyes. I'm ashamed.
Back to get it in. I'm talking about laying it low, spreading it wide.
Ooh.
And then hello somebody. And then my memory leaves again. And before they left, they must have took a shower or cleaned themselves up, because the next thing my memory remembers is them standing in my doorway butt naked.
Baby, that was one hell of a night.
Baby, I wish I at least had a videotape, because I literally, my memory, yeah.
So let me tell you my last experience, right?
Ooh, yes, God.
This is with him. No, this ain't cool. We were talking about feet earlier, right? So I'm so damn embarrassed.
Girl, ain't no embarrassing with me up. Listen, this is no judgment zone, honey. We on the QB zone. Ain't no judgment or embarrassment.
Yes. So, we're getting it in. And of course, bust it out open and all that, blah, 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 right? So why the hell was my feet like, you can hear scratching. It was not cute. My
what was scratching? Your toenails?
My ankle, my arm, the heels of my
girl, because you was ashy.
I was ashy, dry, and I needed to get my feet done. Because, you hearing it and it's moving, right? He was like, what the hell wrong with you? Right? So I'm just like, what you need? Because, he stopped and I was mad. And I was mad. Because, he's trying to lift the leg, I'm thickums, right? So he lifted the leg. Why this motherfucker looked at my leg and he was like, we not doing nothing until you get this done. So goddamn.
And he stopped. He stopped
like, baby, why the fuck did I go on Amazon and order all kind of shit?
No, you didn't. You did for real.
I was so embarrassed because, okay.
Girl, he could keep going and tell you to fix it for next time.
In my defense, right? He been telling me to get my feet done. And I'm just like, I don't work in the office anymore. I work at home. Like, I'm not going to spend a whole heap of money just to, do whatever. Like these are press songs right now, right? I got my whole little kit. I'm not spending a whole bunch of money if I'm not going to the office. There's no reason for me to do that. But baby, when I tell you I was so embarrassed, I got the foot thing right here.
You so silly.
I'm so embarrassed. I promise you, never again. Never again. What was the most embarrassing moment that you had during sex? Oh, girl, he's so disrespectful too.
I talked all this shit. And when I came over, they had it so fucking cold in there, bitch, I couldn't get hard.
Ooh.
I was mad. I was so mad.
Oh no.
But I tell you, I was so embarrassed. But why is it so fucking cold in here? First of all, I'm in Miami. Why do I feel like I'm in fucking New York or DC somewhere? Why is it so fucking cold in here? But baby, I tell you one thing, honey. When I got my chance to redeem myself, yes, God. Turn this fucking AC off before I come back over here, baby.
Oh my God.
Let's just say, after I redeem myself, I got it about 2-3 more times. Yeah, that'll probably be the only
nice.
That'll probably be the only embarrassing moment. Yeah. Now I've definitely faked a few. Now I've definitely faked a few injuries because I'm like, this is not what I expected. I got to go. So I picked the injury to get the hell up out of there.
Did you say you faked the injury?
Hell yeah. Migraine, Charlie horse, back pain. Yeah, because this is boring. I'm about to fall asleep. I'm finna go home. So let me just fake an injury so I don't hurt your feelings.
I was reading something on Facebook. I think who put it up on they thing, or they must have liked it and said, "Why do you smash once and never go back?" That's one of the excuses. You faking it because it's whack.
Either it was whack, or I think for a lot of guys, they just want another notch on their belt. They just want another check box. They're not looking for 2, 3, or they're not looking for anything regular. They're just looking for another name. A lot of guys are just looking for another name on their list.
Baby,
so it could be good. It could be good. They could have enjoyed it, but it's not their purpose to want it more than one.
Yeah, I just think I'm too emotional to do that to people. I like being in relationships. I'm a hopeless romantic.
Yeah,
I am. I like loving on people. That's just my thing.
Absolutely.
I like to show. Big girls can do it very too.
Hello. Yeah. You so sick. Oh my goodness.
That, sir, I just have one last question for you. Ending this note, it says, my soul is on a budget. I cannot afford stress, envy, negative vibes, doubt, or deceit. Do you agree with that? And will you take that into 2023 as well?
100%, and hell yeah. Because peace is valuable. Peace is yeah. You can't put a price on having your own peace. So all that stuff right there is going to hold you from your peace. It's going to hold you from sanity. It's going to hold you from your breakthrough. It's going to hold you from your next chapter in life. And I know when you've been through enough, yeah, you're going to make sure that you keep that in mind. Absolutely. I totally agree.
Thank you.
Listen, I enjoyed this. This was fun. I look forward to Lord who, and I'm telling who I'm going to get next. But I enjoyed this. It was a wonderful conversation. As usual, it's always great to have you down to the QB zone and have a conversation with you. And I just love and appreciate you so much.
Thank you. I love and appreciate you too. I hope everything is to be successful. What's it? Pace, space,
and grace.
And grace. I got to let me write that down. I'm putting that on because I'm doing a gratitude journal. So
yes, yeah.
Look,
grace, space, and pace. We all deserve that.
Well, that's it for the zone today. We are officially shutting it down. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And until next time, remember this. Just start. Start slow if you have to. Start small if you have to. Start privately if you have to. Just start.